24th annual Ozark Empire Fair is up and running. What safety measures have been put in place to help protect you if you'd like to go out and enjoy? That's coming up in a live report this morning for you on Daybreak.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Today is Friday, July 31st. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm Joe Morano. A lot of fun out at the fair. Nija's there. I got to ask you your favorite fair food.
Oh, that's a good question. Funnel cake is always great.
Yeah.
I'll probably go with that for now.
Ask
me later. I might change my mind. It just depends what you're in the mood for, Joe.
I love how they spin the potato and then fry that thing. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And I hear meteorologist Elisa Raffa over there this morning. I feel like you were just drooling at that, right?
Yes, that swirl. I think they call it a tornado.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so good. It's like the swirled chips. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I had that last year when I was at the fair. So good.
You can put in an order with Nija, I guess, maybe.
That's right.
get
Nija
some
will
of
be there
those.
later. Maybe she'll bring us some food. But
Yeah.
we'll have to watch out for the rain, right, if we're planning to go out to the fair over the weekend.
Yeah, today I think especially. We have that flash flood watch actually has been extended through 9 o'clock tonight for our southern Missouri counties where some more locally heavy downpours are possible. So it continues again to go until 9 o'clock this evening for Springfield and counties down to the state line. We've got some clouds in Springfield this morning. It is 71 degrees out there to start. We've got some clouds and a couple of showers swirling around the last hiccup that's rolling in. We do have some flash flood warnings over Osceola, Highway 13 up to the north for St. Clair counties where 1 to 3 inches of rain has fallen already, and we're looking at some ponding and low visibility on Highway 13. So please keep that in mind. Lighter showers around Springfield. Right now the heavier rain is up in central Missouri. It's 70 degrees in Branson, 70 in Mountain Grove, and 73 degrees in West Plains. So some wet roads out there. As we head through the afternoon with the scattered showers and storms, you're looking at clouds and some wet packages if you're waiting for a delivery. It will be much cooler out there today too, 78 degrees with the clouds, showers, and north winds. So we're tracking a flash flood watch as those storm chances continue. Cooler today and into tonight. There is a small shower chance this weekend. Details coming up in 10 minutes.
Need to let you know the Lee Summit Police Department has issued an endangered silver advisory. 83-year-old Jerry Johnson was last seen on 920 Northwest High Point Drive there. Johnson has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and must take daily blood pressure medication. He's also believed to be without his wallet and phone. Police think he's going to Joplin in a dark gray 2016 Jeep Wrangler with the license plate reading XB1X9M. You should call 911 if you should happen to know anything about his whereabouts.
Well, it's officially been 2 weeks since the city of Springfield's masking ordinance went into effect.
And the Springfield-Greene County Health Department believes that because people in Springfield are masking more, the daily cases are leveling off. We are now a week removed from the health department reporting its highest number of cases in one day at 74. Public Health Administrator Catherine Wall says numbers this week are turning a corner.
This past Monday, the health department reported 57 new cases, on Tuesday 41, on Wednesday 39, and yesterday 32. The department says it expects to see results between 10 and 21 days of the masking ordinance. Today marks day 16. Wall says people shouldn't forget to take other precautions as well, like hand washing, distancing, and staying home when sick.
It's been really impressive and encouraging to see how our community has really taken on this challenge and really is complying. We were really feeling the increase in cases. As we started talking about masking, the timing seemed to work out that it was also a time when we were really feeling that pinch of having so many cases come in day to day. But this week definitely seems to have turned a corner. We're hopeful again that is a result of masking.
The health department says it will also be updating its current recovery dashboard to show daily numbers and also be more user-friendly. The department also updates hospitalizations on its social media once a day.
Christian County voters will have 3 major races to vote on next Tuesday. Voters will decide on the GOP representative for the Eastern County Commissioner, state rep for District 140, and county commissioner. Things started with the commissioner candidates who spoke about a hot issue recently, the Linden Lure access point.
That has a lot to do with the law and gathering the facts for the people everybody involved, the landowners and the other citizens. I think everybody needs to be listened to.
Unfortunately, I was trying to broker something where we could have a meeting of all groups together, and it looks like it's going to not make it, and it looks like it's going to go to court. And I do think that litigation is always a problem.
I've talked to several of the people in the Save the Linden project, and I'd love to sit down with them and facilitate a meeting of all the interested parties, because I believe there is a mutual beneficial decision that we can reach.
But if there's legal access, something needs to be done. People have the right to access the river if it is legal, if, like I said, and I know I keep saying legal, but that's the key to this whole thing. There's a compromise to be found there if there is legal access.
I believe that.
And when it comes to the state rep race, here is a bit of what each GOP candidate said about why they're the best choice for the job.
I believe that I can actually bring a difference to Jefferson City with a medical background and business background of over 30 years. I am used to working through solutions and thinking outside of the box, and that's what we're going to have today.
I am really the only non-political outsider up here. I've never been in politics. I've never held an office. We need level heads. We need good decision makers, and we need people that are salt of the earth, people that know what real life is all about.
I would suggest to the voters of this district that they need to choose someone who has the toughness of mind to stand against the mob and even to stand up to their own party when they think they're wrong. And I think that's me.
And I'm not asking you to vote for me for what I say I will do, but I am asking you to vote for me for what I've already done. I have opposed taxes as your alderman. I have supported property rights as your alderman. I've worked with the citizens of Ozark as your alderman.
And current treasurer Karen Matthews and challenger Aaron Johns had a somewhat tense session as well last night, and you can find that discussion and full comments from all candidates on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Also, a reminder for you that the Missouri state primary election is August 4th. That's coming up on Tuesday. We'll have coverage of Missouri's Medicaid expansion vote, the primary for governor candidates, as well as state and U.S. representatives, all coming your way on Color 10 and Ozarks Fox on Tuesday.
With Missouri lawmakers back in Jefferson City for a special session on violent crime, what does that session cost taxpayers? Lawmakers are on a brief break until after the primary election next week. House and Senate members get $120 per day when they are in the Capitol, plus mileage reimbursement, which is 37 cents per mile from their home to the Capitol and back. Last year's special session cost nearly $57,000 between both chambers. This year, it's estimated to cost around $180,000.
You know, anytime we're spending money that others have earned, and we're supposed to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money, there's always that question about, you know, how much is too much.
Neither the House nor the Senate will know the total expenses of the special session until it's over, which will be sometime in the middle of August.
Protesters were arrested during a demonstration in Jefferson City, rallying against a crime bill at the center of that special session. Jefferson City Police said commanders attempted to contact organizers to mediate the crowd. Participants can be seen blocking the roadway right there, including some lying down. Officers told the protesters they would be arrested if they did not move. And then after multiple commands, some protesters were pepper sprayed. 8 people in total were arrested.
This morning, it's opening weekend at the 2020 Ozark Empire Fair. And Color 10's Nija McDonald is live at the fairgrounds with what you can expect for the weekend. Nija, good morning.
Well, good morning, Jen. I heard you guys talking about fair food, and I have to say, my favorite is a large pile of nachos with jalapenos on it. So I'm hoping to get some of those today. But I am joined with General Manager Aaron Owen. Good morning.
Good morning.
So it's an exciting time for you guys here. Talk about what people can expect as they head out to the fair.
Well, we're getting some great weather, is the first thing, but you know, we got some changes going on this year. Most of that you can go onto our website and it's kind of spelled out for you, but a lot of social distancing, and then there's times you need to wear your mask, times you don't, and but we got a great lineup of shows.
And so I heard you were telling me actually before we came on, there's actually an incentive for people to wear their masks to the fair. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you can buy advance tickets like at Price Cutter and PFI, and those are discounted. But if you get to the gate and you've got your mask on and you buy your ticket, you get $1 off. So we're trying to help you pay for that mask.
That's awesome. And so what is maybe, let's say, what's your favorite thing that you can visit today at the fair this year?
Well, I'm an ag boy, so I grew up, we've showed cattle all of our life, and so getting to see our kids here, we got one of the largest livestock shows this year that we've ever had. And at 8 o'clock this morning, we kick off the shows, and I mean, it's going all weekend.
And what are the hours?
The gates open at 11, and then they close somewhere between 11 and midnight. The shows down at the livestock end start at 8 o'clock, and they'll run to about 6 o'clock in the evening. We've got dairy and beef. We're running 3, and then we've got small animals too. So they'll run in 3 different rings all day long.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And as Aaron mentioned, this is an exciting time for everyone here at the fair, but they are making sure to take those precautionary measures to keep everyone safe while they're out enjoying their time. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
All right, Nigel, thank you. Well, still ahead for you here on Caller 10 Daybreak. Tech stocks helped boost the NASDAQ yesterday. We'll explain, and Elisa will have a full look at our weather for the rest of the weekend. Stay with us.
Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Caller 10 News Daybreak. And now weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
After a dry July, the last week has been making up for it with rain, measurable rain, pretty much every day since Sunday. Yesterday, we got 0.8 of an inch of rain, nearly an inch out there yesterday, which is helping that total get a boost in the last few days of the month. So we're at 2.5 inches so far for the month. Remember, we were only at 0.5 inch for most of the month here. So now we're running about 1 inch below average, again, making up for lost time. Average to date would be about 3.5 inches. Joplin is now almost there. Rolla is now above average with that heavy rain that we've got in the last couple of days. West Plains has been above average. So again, making up for lost time after the whole month was dry. Just a few days are making up for that rain total there. The heaviest rain that we've seen in the last 24 hours has been to the north with some pretty hefty downpours near Clinton and Osceola. Again, the Springfield area had some locally heavy downpours yesterday, which is where we got some more of that rain in the bucket. Clouds out there this morning. It's 71 degrees, so a warm and humid start. We've got this last swirl Swirling around the Ozarks, the last storm from this pretty active week that we've had here as far as the rain chances go. Again, we've got some heavier downpours up to the north. Highway 13 could have some ponding and low visibility this morning. A flash flood warning continues until 10:15 for parts of St. Clair County, where 1 to 3 inches of rain has fallen already. So that's the biggest problem spot this morning, where we're finding some downpours. Not much else going on, maybe some lighter showers around the Springfield area, but for now it's that band to the north that where we're finding some of the heavier rain. So you can see the center here of the last little hiccup swirling, some showers and storms on either side. We'll wind up on the back side of this swirl through much of the day today, which will bring in north winds and cooler temperatures. But flash flood watches continue because the atmosphere is still soaked. It still has a tropical-like air mass with the oranges and yellows you can see here, where you're going to squeeze out a lot of rain in a little bit of time. So a flash flood watch continues until 9 o'clock this evening for Springfield and southern Missouri counties, where you could get 1 to 2 inch downpours pretty quickly. So make sure you be careful on the roads and never drive through a flooded road. So that last rain trigger rolling through today. Again, we spend a lot of time on the back side of it, so you're looking at north winds, clouds, and much cooler temperatures in the middle and upper 70s. Some locally heavy downpours possible. The last of the showers exit tonight. Overnight lows could get into the lower 60s, so you might even be able to give the AC a break and open up the windows. By tomorrow, maybe a few showers. This is going to be probably the drier day of the weekend. You probably still stay mostly cloudy with those highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. So the last trigger swirls through with some heavy downpours today. 1 to 2 inches of rain could drop pretty quickly, so you need to watch out for ponding and some flooded roads with low visibility. North winds and cooler temperatures today. You're looking at some highs in the 70s, a few showers possible this weekend, and then we trend drier next week. The pattern really going to cool off, where we'll lose the storm track a little bit, but keep things feeling pretty mild and below average. Average is close to 90 degrees, and we're looking at those highs in the lower 80s for the most part headed into next week. So cool down after a pretty hot July. 78 degrees today, showers and cooler. North winds will be pretty steady. 63 degrees overnight tonight. Could probably open up the windows. The last of the showers exit. 81 degrees tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mostly dry. Showers and storms will be more likely by Sunday. Then we are dry and mild early next week.
Stocks were mixed on Thursday. The Dow fell 225 points. The Nasdaq rose 44 and the S&P 500 lost 12. Tech stocks helped boost the Nasdaq, and the momentum continued after the bell. One day after the CEOs of Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook testified before Capitol Hill, all four of their companies beat Wall Street's expectations with their quarterly earnings reports. Apple says profit totaled $11.25 billion as consumers purchased more Macs and iPads. Apple also announced a 4-for-1 stock split, meaning shares of the iPhone maker could be available for about $100 next month based on its current level. Amazon also fared well as consumers stayed home and ordered products from their couch during the coronavirus pandemic. The company posted a Q2 profit of $5.2 billion and says it spent $4 billion more on its COVID-19 response. The e-commerce giant said revenue surged as the pandemic spread between April and June. A double-digit drop in sales at Dunkin' hurt its bottom line, and now it's planning to eliminate approximately 800 of its stores. The company, which dropped donuts from its name last year, made the announcement Thursday after reporting a roughly 20% drop in quarterly revenue. Profit slid to $36.5 million. 450 of the Dunkin' locations being shut are inside Speedway gas stations. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. I'm Diane King Hall.
We've got sports up next for you. The SEC makes a decision on college football. We'll see what the layout looks like for this fall when we come back.
now, sports on Color 10 News.
The Southeastern Conference has become the fourth major conference to vote on playing a 10-game conference-only football schedule this season. The SEC championship game will be moved back to December 19th. The extra weeks allow for some buffer time in case games need to be rescheduled because of the pandemic. Teams will play the 6 other schools from their division and 4 from the other division. The new schedule has not been released, but we do know that the Mizzou-Arkansas game that was supposed to be at Arrowhead Stadium in KC will be moved to Columbia on December 5th now. Mizzou Athletics Director Jim Sturck says this decision was not taken lightly.
We started the discussions quite a while ago. I don't know if it was in May or June or whatever that we really started looking at options of what we might do. But as we've tried to do is gather information as much as we can from the medical advice and delay the decision as long as we could. But we felt like we needed to make a decision now.
A reminder, since that game's December 5th against Arkansas, it's not the day after Thanksgiving like it's been recently. The Springfield Lasers ended their World Team Tennis season with a win. The Lasers were back-to-back WTT champs, but could not make it a three-peat. The Lasers' Mitch Krugel gutted out a 5-4 singles win, and Springfield beat Orange County 21-19 for the match. The Lasers do end the summer season 5-9. We go back to Elisa, who is tracking a flash flood watch for us this morning.
Yes, good morning, Joe. It was extended through 9 o'clock this evening as some more locally heavy downpours are possible today in southern Missouri. So Springfield is included in that flash flood watch. It's in effect down to the state line, where again 1 to 2 inches of rain could drop pretty quickly. You've got some clouds out in Springfield this morning. It is 71 degrees with some calm winds and humid dew points. You can see the last hiccup that we've got is swirling across the Ozarks this morning. The heaviest band is up in central Missouri with a flash flood watch continuing until 10:15 this morning in St. Clair County. Osceola finding some 1 to 3 inch downpours. Highway 13 up there could have some low visibility and flooding issues this morning, so please keep that in mind. That is the problem spot this morning. Not finding much on the radar elsewhere. It's 73 degrees in West Plains, 73 in Mountain Home, and 71 degrees in Springfield. Cool out on the patio today. Clouds, showers, and temperatures in the 70s. Most of us, I don't think anyone actually is going to make it to 80 degrees today. Some middle and upper 70s with some of those showers and the locally heavy downpours. You'll find cool 60s overnight tonight with the last of the showers exiting. Maybe a shower or two tomorrow. Most of us dry with mostly cloudy skies and highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. So today probably too wet to mow the lawn. You'll dry out tomorrow if you want to get some of the yard work done. Saturday would be the drier day of the weekend. A couple of showers possible on Sunday, and then we will dry out again on Monday. So here's what to expect. The last storm trigger brings locally heavy downpours today. Watch for ponding and low visibility on the roads. North winds and cooler 70s today. A few showers possible this weekend, mainly on Sunday. A couple of scattered showers and storms there. Temperatures in the lower 80s.
Also ahead for you here on Daybreak, coronavirus is still impacting several states, but are there signs the curve is finally flattening? We'll have the details after the break. Stay with us. The coronavirus continues to claim lives in the U.S. The country's death toll now tops 152,000, and the economy is in a tailspin. Naomi Rockham reports from New York.
More than 1,200 new COVID-19 deaths were recorded across the United States on Thursday. Most, nearly 80%, were in just 3 states, California, Florida, and Texas. Former Republican presidential candidate Herman Cain was among the latest victims.
America grieves for all of the 150,000 Americans who had their lives taken by this horrible, invisible enemy.
President Trump visited the Red Cross's headquarters in Washington, D.C. yesterday. Members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force joined him in urging recovered COVID-19 patients to donate blood plasma.
An important part of the process of being in it together and pulling together is helping each other.
Dr. Fauci is scheduled to remotely appear before Congress today. The infectious disease expert last testified on June 30th.
We're not going to solve this problem until we solve the coronavirus problem.
Elsewhere on Capitol Hill, Democrats and Republicans continue to negotiate another economic relief package, with millions of unemployed Americans about to see their benefits drop by $600 a week.
The private sector cannot solve this problem.
A report from the Commerce Department revealed the extent of the pandemic's economic damage. It said the U.S. economy contracted by 9.5% between April and June, the worst quarter ever recorded. Naomi Rockham, CBS News.
Experts say there are signs the Sun Belt's coronavirus surge may be peaking. The number of new cases has leveled off in recent days, and there have been increases in a number of Midwestern states.
Still ahead for you, Americans are likely to get a second round of stimulus checks, but there are still some negotiations that need to happen before that goes on. Plus, we check back in with Nigel McDonald live out at the fair.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak. Today is Friday, July 31st. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm Joe Moreno. We are here getting you through and getting set for a big weekend, right?
That's right. Big weekend. The fair is going on. We have to watch out for some showers over the weekend if you want to go out there. But hopefully you have some time to get out there and eat some fair food.
Everything on a stick, right?
Everything
on a stick.
great
You know
about the
what I
fair.
was thinking about too? Fried Oreos. Have you guys had fried Oreos?
Not for me. Not for me.
What?
Why?
Yeah.
You have to try it at least
I've had,
once.
no, I have tried
You've
it.
had
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you asked what is your favorite, and then later I was thinking about, I like fried Oreos, but I could only probably eat one or two.
Yeah, you can't eat a lot of those.
Yeah.
You can't. I think the potatoes and the nachos or chicken on a stick, right? Those are the things that I enjoy. Well, yeah, we'll have some showers this weekend. It will be mostly dry today. You're looking at a flash flood watch that's been extended through 9 o'clock this evening for Springfield and counties to the south. So southern Missouri still has that threat of some locally heavy downpours through today. We've got clouds in Springfield. It's 71 degrees out there. The last swirl of showers and storms from our unsettled week. The problem spot this morning is on the northern band with a flash flood warning for St. Clair County. You've got some low visibility and very heavy rain over Highway 13 in Osceola. So please be careful if you live up there and you're trying to head out to work this morning. The rest of the radar is more or less quiet with some lighter showers. It's 73 degrees in West Plains and 70 to start in Branson. Some wet roads out there today with those scattered showers and storms. Again, you want to be careful for some of those locally heavy downpours as you fire up the grill. You'll have some of those showers and storms and much cooler. You're looking at temperatures in the 70s today, 78 degrees for that high. So tracking a flash flood watch, a storm chance today with cooler temperatures. A look at your weekend forecast is coming up in a couple of minutes.
And Lisa, thanks. Well, it is opening weekend at the Ozark Empire Fair.
Oh, big time for everyone. Let's rejoin Color 10's Nyjah McDonald, who's actually live out at the fairgrounds. Nyjah, good morning. What do you have for us?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, as you mentioned, you're talking about all this fair food. It's really making me hungry. My favorite, as I mentioned, was nachos, but we are here right now by these stuffed animals, and I was trying to eye out something I could get for my cat, but I don't see a kitty stuffed animal. But there's a lot of different things that are going to be going on this year at the fair. There's a lot of different things that you can expect. Of course, mask is one of those things. And I actually spoke with General Manager Aaron Owen, who says that there's an incentive for people that are coming out to the fair to wear your mask. If you do so, you'll receive $1 off of your ticket. Again, there's a lot of different signage as well that I've noticed that are encouraging people to practice social distancing. There'll be sanitizer stations all throughout the fair. So there's a lot of different reasons for you to come out and do so safely. But the fair will open up at 11 a.m. this morning, and then it will remain open until about 10 or 11 p.m. tonight. Again, this is the opening weekend. Aaron says he expects a large turnout, people coming out, but doing so safely. Reporting live at the fairgrounds, Nyjah McDonald, Ozarks First.
In our coronavirus coverage this morning, the state of Arkansas has reported 791 new cases. 8 more Arkansans have died. The death toll now stands at 442, and more than 34,000 have recovered. Governor Asa Hutchinson talked about antigen testing numbers yesterday, and that test is not as accurate as another more popular test, which is called a PCR test, because it only detects potential traces of the virus. But it can produce results in minutes, which can help people know if they need to take further precautions. The governor says that quick turnaround is something people can take advantage of.
This will be helpful as we go into school. We want to get these antigen test equipment out so it's more available for a quick turnaround.
He also said he is authorizing 14 more National Guardsmen to assist the Department of Health.
In our political coverage for you this morning, Democrats and Republicans in Congress agree that Americans need more help to deal with the economic impact of the pandemic. But negotiations to send another round of stimulus checks and extend unemployment insurance have stalled over the issue of liability protections for businesses. Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon explains for us today.
Republicans rattled off a laundry list of priorities they included in this next and likely final round of coronavirus relief. But Democrats were quick to point out one major flaw.
These resources will prevent furloughs of thousands of employees.
Senator Richard Shelby breaks down Republicans' $1 trillion plan to help Americans get back on the job and in the classroom. Shelby says the bill includes $16 billion in new money to ramp up state testing efforts, on top of $9 billion that hasn't been spent yet.
With a particular emphasis on schools, employers, child care facilities, and nursing homes.
The legislation also provides more than $100 billion to help schools and colleges reopen, sending most of it to those holding classes in person.
If you have to have more buses, if you have to hire more teachers, if you have to hire more protective equipment, those schools need help.
Senator Lamar Alexander also worked to include opportunities for graduates to continue to defer student loan payments.
If you have no income, you have no monthly payment.
But Senate Democrats argue the bill hurts unemployed Americans by cutting the weekly benefit from $600 to $200.
Senate Republicans in the White House want to give out-of-work Americans a 30% pay cut.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says while the bill does include bipartisan priorities like another round of direct payments, the current version doesn't even have a Republican consensus.
Weeks of infighting among Senate Republicans in the White House caused unnecessary and harmful delays.
And right now, a resolution isn't expected for weeks.
State Minority Leader Schumer also says that's a radical change of law that Democrats cannot accept.
News from around the region. The former Ferguson police officer who killed Michael Brown still will not face charges after a reinvestigation of the shooting. Darren Wilson shot Brown in August of 2014, sparking a federal civil rights inquiry, local protests, and national debate. Brown was 18 years old then. The decision by St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell comes nearly 6 years after a grand jury declined to prosecute Wilson.
There are so many points at which Darren Wilson could have handled the situation differently, and if he had, Michael Brown might still be alive. But that is not the question before us. The only question is whether we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a crime occurred. The answer to that question is no.
Despite the varying accounts, witnesses and police agree Brown was unarmed and he and Wilson engaged in a physical struggle. Bell said that although his office could not prove that a crime was committed, the investigation does not exonerate Wilson.
We've got a flash flood warning that continues in parts of St. Clair counties until 10:15 this morning, where heavy rain has been an issue. Details on a flash flood watch continuing today, coming up next.
And now weather with meteorologist Alisa Raffa, certified by Weather8 for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
After a dry July, we've been making up for some lost time out there this week. We've gotten more rain in 1 week than we did the whole month. Yesterday, we got 0.8 of an inch of rain in the bucket in Springfield, so almost an inch, and that's tacking on to the pretty dry month that we've had. Now we are at about 2.5 inches of rain in Springfield, just 1 inch shy of the average of 3.5 inches. We are pretty much at the average in Joplin and now above average in both Rolla and West Plains, as some of this rain has really helped us out. So again, the whole month has been dry, but we're just making up for lost time in just 1 week, and we'll likely wind up closer to average just for getting that ground covered. And again, in 1 week's time, heavy downpours up in central Missouri yesterday and this morning, causing some flash flooding issues. Not really seeing that be the case in Springfield. The downpours, we haven't seen any of those this morning. You've got clouds in Springfield right now. It is 71 degrees with calm winds and humid dew points. The last hiccup that we've had after this active week is swirling through, and you've got the rain bands to the north that are heavier this morning, with a flash flood warning continuing until 10:15 for St. Clair County, where Osceola is having some very heavy downpours, 1 to 3 inches of rain down already. Highway 13 could have some ponding and low visibility, so be careful there this morning. Again, this is our last hiccup. It's swirling across the area. It spends a lot of its time with north winds out there today, so it'll be cool, but the atmosphere is still pretty soaked and saturated and kind of tropical-like, so we'll continue to have a threat for some heavy rain, which is why flash flood watches continue until 9 o'clock this evening for Springfield and counties down to the state line, where 1 to 2 inches of rain could drop pretty quickly. Again, be careful for some ponding out on the roads, especially near rivers and streams. The trigger spends a lot of its time to our south and east today, so those north winds will keep clouds and really cool temperatures out there today. We're looking at highs in the middle and upper 70s with showers, clouds, and some locally heavy downpours. Showers exit tonight. It's really cool. You could probably give the AC a break. You're looking at those lows in the lower 60s, maybe a shower or two tomorrow. Mostly cloudy and mostly dry with highs in the lower 80s. So today is a day that you can find some of that low visibility and ponding from the heavy rain. It will be cool with highs in the 70s. A few showers possible this weekend, and then we trend drier going into next week. It's also a cooler pattern as well. We'll lose that storm track that we've had, and the temperatures stay below average in the lower 80s through much of next week. 78 degrees today, mostly cloudy, some showers and steady north winds. Cool, 63 degrees overnight tonight. The last of the showers exit, mostly cloudy, and 81 degrees out there tomorrow. You're looking at some showers and storms possible on Sunday. Drying out next week with those highs in the lower 80s with some clouds.
Still to come for you this morning, the economy is really getting a clearer picture on just how much impact the coronavirus is having.
We'll have details from the last quarter coming up for you after this break. Stay with us. Isaias became a Category 1 hurricane overnight. The National Hurricane Center found 80 miles per hour maximum sustained winds in the center of the storm. This after hitting the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico with torrential rain. A hurricane warning has been issued for the Bahamas now. Tropical storm watches are in effect for the southeast coast of Florida, as Isaias is expected to skirt up the east coast by the weekend.
Yesterday, President Trump visited the national headquarters of the American Red Cross in Washington, D.C. He took part in a discussion on the importance of donating blood plasma, and the Red Cross is encouraging people who've recovered from COVID-19 to donate theirs. Doctors say the plasma contains antibodies, which may help current patients trying to fight the virus. Dr. Anthony Fauci and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar were also in attendance there yesterday.
The U.S. economy experienced its worst drop on record amid the pandemic lockdown. The broadest measure of the economy, the gross domestic product fell by an annual rate of 32.9% in the second quarter. The GDP dropped 5% in the first quarter. The second quarter was the worst since records started in 1947.
Taking a look at your consumer news now, Clorox has developed a better reputation recently as consumers depended on its disinfectants to fight off the coronavirus. A new survey shows Americans trust in the company's wipes, cleaners, and bleach, and it is now in the top spot on the annual Axios Harris Top 100 poll of corporate reputation rankings. There has been increased demand over the last several months as people buy more cleaning products for themselves.
Walmart is rolling out new technology to help employees help shoppers. The retail giant has developed a voice-activated app just for workers called Ask Sam. Staffers can use it to help find products in the store and look up prices and to get real-time emergency alerts. The company is also using the app to keep workers up to date about coronavirus issues. Ask Sam will not be available to customers on the Walmart shopping app, but it does include store maps and a price scanner.